Hey everybody, it's me Harry and today I'm doing a game collection video. This is my entire Acclaim Entertainment collection as of when this video was made. I've still got a couple coming, so yeah, I might make an update soon, so yep, let's start it off. So let me just there you go. So first of all we're going to start with PS1 games. So first of all is Bust-A-Move 2, developed by Taito, published by Acclaim. Well, I don't have to say publisher because these are all Acclaim games. Developed by Taito, released in 1996. Here is the back. Yeah, sorry for the dark. Sorry, it's quite dark, but it's just the light. Doesn't seem to recognise from my iPad. And the back has an ad for Alien Trilogy, because Acclaim like putting ads of their other games on the back of their cases. Next up is Bust-A-Move 3DX, once again developed by Taito, and this was released in January of 1998, a little while after the Saturn version. And there's the back. And then, here it is, and then the ad on the back is for Forsaken, which I don't have yet, but I'm going to get it at some point. Next up is Jeremy McGrath, Supercross 98. Developed by ATOD and Probe Entertainment, released in, I think, July of 1998. This was one of the first Acclaim sports titles, and the first in the Jeremy McGrath Supercross series. My copy doesn't have a manual, so I don't know what the ad is on the back. RC Revenge, or Revolt 2, developed by Acclaim Studios Cheltenham, released in August of 2000. Here's the back. And is the case, and the back ad on the back is for Vanishing Point. And then lastly is ATV Quad Power Racing, developed by Climax and released in October of 2000. So, there you go. The ad on the back is for Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000. Next up is my Nintendo 64 games. I only have two. Turok Dinosaur Hunter from Iguana Entertainment, released in March of 1997. It was a launch title. And then here is Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, also from Iguana, and released in, I think, November of 1998. I don't have the other Turok games. I do plan on getting them at some point. Next up is my Dreamcast games. I only have three. Revolt, developed by Acclaim Studios London, and this version was released in December of 1999. It's basically, it runs on the same engine as the PC version does, and it's just as good as the PC version. It's the best console version of the game. Another brilliant title comes up with Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000, released in August of 2000, developed by Acclaim Studios Salt Lake City. Yeah, that developer weren't very good with games. Most of them were poorly made. This is one of their worst, as this is basically incomplete, big time. There's nothing you can do in it. And you'll just have to see when I played it through that game. And here is Ferrari F355 Challenge, which was licensed from Sega, and it was released in September of 2000. It was only published by Acclaim in North America and Europe. Sega published it themselves in the UK. I mean in Japan. And it's developed by Sega AM2. Disc is on the front because the hinges on the back all broke off. And then here's the manual. The rest of the case is all broken. That's the problem with Dreamcast cases, is because they are so fragile and they barely stay together. And there we go, that's those games done, and now we're on to PlayStation 2 games. First of all is RC Revenge Pro from Acclaim Studios Cheltenham and released in December of 2000. This, alongside Super Bust-A-Move, were Acclaim's first PS2 titles. And their first title and their first few PS2 titles were released on CD-ROM rather than on DVD. The back has an ad for Super Bust-A-Move, because of course Acclaim like putting ads on the back of their games. Their Dreamcast titles don't have any ads, so yeah. Here is Super Bust-A-Move, developed by Taito, also released in December of 2000. This is the only PS2 title that has its ELSPA rating on the back of the case rather than on the front. Here is the case, and The back has an ad for RC Revenge Pro, which makes sense because both of them were released around the same time. Next up is All-Star Baseball 2002, released in May of 2001 and developed by Acclaim Studios Austin. This was one of the first Acclaim sports titles released under their new logo branding, which is called Where the Stars Play. And you'd be thinking that another game released under the banner would be advertised on the back, but it isn't. Instead, on the back, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX Maximum Remix is advertised on the back. Yeah, that's a PS1 title and not a PS2 title. Maybe it was planned to be released on the PS2, but they decided not to. NFL Quarterback Club 2002, also from Acclaim Studios Austin, and released in October of 2001. Bound to see All-Star Baseball 2002 on the back cover, but guess what? It's not there at all. Instead, advertised on the back is of Extreme G3. Shadow Man Second Coming, developed by Acclaim Studios T-Side. This was their last game before they closed down, even though they were planning on a sequel to Forsaken, which I bet you didn't even know existed. Yeah, they were planning a sequel, but then it got cancelled. Ad on the back is for Legends of Wrestling. Yeah, this was released in April of 2002, I think. Vex released in April of 2003, developed by Acclaim Studios Austin. Here's the disc, and this is a DVD game. And the back advertises ATV Quad Power Racing 2. And then last but not least is Summer Heat Beach Volleyball, developed by Acclaim Studios Cheltenham, released in July of 2003. Yeah, both Summer Heat Beach Volleyball and Shadow Man 2 were PS2 exclusives. And on the back is an ad for Speed Kings. Next up are the GameCube titles. And I have more GameCube and Xbox titles from Acclaim than the others. I have 8 GameCube titles. And I have 9 Xbox titles. So yeah, first of all we have Extreme G3, developed by Acclaim Studios Cheltenham, released on May the 3rd, 2002. This was a GameCube launch title, alongside a couple of other Acclaim titles. Here's the back, and the back of the manual has an ad for Burnout, which was another launch title. Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2, developed by Z-Axis, also released on the same day, May the 3rd, 2002. This was part of the Acclaim Max Sports range of games. Here's the back, and the manual has an ad for Extreme G3. Then we got Jeremy McGrath Supercross World, released in June of 2002, developed by Acclaim Studio Salt Lake City, like with Supercross 2000. My copy doesn't have a manual, so it just has the disc, even though I wish I had the manual with it so I could see what the game advertised on the back is. Next up is Aggressive Inline from the AKA Acclaim label, developed by Z-Axis, once again, much like with Dave Mirra BMX 2. Most of the Max Sports and AKA titles were developed by Z-Axis. The back of this advertises Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2, which was another Z-Axis game, unexpectedly. Zoo Cube, developed by Puzzle Kings, released in August of 2002. Yeah. Oh yeah, that other game, Aggressive Inline, was also released the same month in August of 2002. So yeah, here's the back, disc and manual, and the ad on the back of this one is for Burnout. So yeah, they advertised the same game on 2 different games. Cool. Next up is Turok Evolution, developed by Acclaim Studios Austin and released in September of 2002 in the UK. is the disc of the game, and it's and the back advertises Vex. Legends of Wrestling 2, developed by Acclaim Studio Salt Lake City, and this was released in February of 2003. And this is the PAL version that comes with 4 UK wrestlers. All versions of the game have the UK wrestlers, but the PS2 and Xbox versions have the interviews and whatnot. This advertises Aggressive Inline on the back. Mary-Kate and Ashley Sweet 16 Licensed to Drive, developed by N-Space, released under the Club Acclaim name. This back. The ad on the back of the manual is of ZooCube, which was released under the regular Acclaim banner in the UK for some reason. And then last but not least are my Xbox titles. Burnout, released in May of 2002. I think this was released the same day as the GameCube version was, developed by Criterion Games. I am going to get Burnout 2 though, so don't worry. The ad on the back is of All-Star Baseball 2003, which I'm planning to get as well. I'm planning to get all the Acclaim titles, well, the ones I'd like anyway. Legends of Wrestling 1, developed by Acclaim Studios Salt Lake City, released in May of 2002. Possibly the same day as the GameCube version. The PS2 version came out in 2001. The back advertises Burnout. This game right here. And we got ATV Quad Power Racing 2, developed by Climax Brighton. Much like with the first ATV Quad Power Racing, released in January of 2003. Here's the disc and the manual. And the back advertises Legends of Wrestling 2. Next up is Speed Kings, developed by Climax London, I think, and was released in May of 2003. The back advertises ATV Quad Power Racing 2, which happens also to be from Climax. SX Superstar, developed by Climax Solent, one that's based in my hometown Portsmouth. This doesn't have a manual. That was released in July of 2003. Extreme G Racing Association, released in September of 2003, developed by Acclaim Studios Cheltenham. Basically a sequel to Extreme G3. NBA Jam, developed by Acclaim Studios Austin, released in October of 2003. And the ad on the back is for Extreme G Racing Association. Gladiator Sword of Vengeance, released in December of 2003, developed by Acclaim Studios Manchester. And yes, it's got a BBFC rating. It's rated 18 in the UK. It's really, really violent. Because it is the Gladiators, of course, so it's bound to be bloody violent. Saying it in a non-traditional way. And the back advertises the game Alice, based on the TV show. It says available February 2004, but it was actually released in July of 2004. And here it is, Alice, developed by Acclaim Studios Cheltenham, released in July of 2004. Based on the TV show. Here is the back. And the ad on the back is for Gladiator Sword of Vengeance. And there's also a little advertisement for Juiced, when the game was supposed to be published by Acclaim, but when Acclaim went bankrupt, the rights moved to THQ. So yeah, that's all my Acclaim titles, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.